So I came down here because I kept hearing beeping. Remember when I told you guys that this thing used to turn itself on all the time and start beeping and everything? Well look, after Bjorn came down here and did his little seance thing, this has been happening. I'm not touching it. And that's what this button does. See? And I keep turning it off. That's how it's supposed to stay when it's on. But what I've been doing is that. Stop. Well, it was turning off. It won't stay off anymore. And when I turn it on, it turns itself off. Watch. I don't know what it's doing. Does anybody know what it's doing? I think maybe it's Morse code for Bjorn. Oh, now it's gonna work? Just because I'm videotaping? I guess not. Okay, this is the part where I walk away. Alright, not sure if you guys remember when I was doing that video making fun of this thing about how it was possessed, the dryer. Well, anyway, took off the bottom panel, right? There's a little thing that goes in that hole there. It's called a thermistor. So check this out. This is the old one. That's what I have it set on. Alright, anybody who knows anything about these already know that they see a problem there, right? Now let me show you what the new one looks like. See, much lower in number. Alright, that's probably why the dryer's been yelling. Anyway, I'm gonna install this and we'll see if the dryer starts working correctly again. It would basically shut off like mid-cycle and it would never finish drying anything. It's been like this for years, so I've been bypassing it by putting in a code here that lets you bypass basically the thermistor settings. So it'll show you what the temperature is rising to here. I'll show you here exactly. Alright, so there were a couple things wrong with this dryer. I did replace that other thermistor because it was reading a bit high, and everything I saw online says it was supposed to read at about 10 on room temperature, and mine was reading at about 50. But when I'm reading the instructions on here, it says that it's supposed to have it at 50K. So I'm assuming that's when it's hot. I don't know. That's kind of confusing to me because it basically says there that you should measure the resistance, and if the reading is not 50K, to replace it. And is that supposed to be when it's hot? So anyway, I put the new one in and I'm not getting any error codes for the thermistor anymore, which I was before, but now I am getting another error here that I see. And the error is key button struck fault. So that means that there's a button that is stuck and you're supposed to enter the function test mode to perform that test. So this is how I found out. It says here, since mine does not have a digital readout display, that I need to put the knob at the 3 o'clock position, right? So then if we go here, that's 12 o'clock position, 1, 2, 3. So touch up would be 3. So let's just go ahead and stop this, right? So this is like the dryer's off, but mine's possessed, so it comes on by itself. I'll go ahead and shut it off again, and then the ghost's in my basement, turn it right back on. So, okay, I put it on the 3 o'clock position. Then it says that you're supposed to hold down the select and pause for 6 seconds, and then the start and pause for 4 seconds. So once we do that, it should go into a mode. And then 4. Okay, so now it's on. Now you see this here? Rotate the cycle selector knob to the 2 o'clock position, and then 4 indicator lights of the drying, cool, wrinkle, and clean should flash the number of times for the first digit code, and then the start will do the flash the number of times for the second digit, but you got to take multiple readings of it. So it says here 2 o'clock position, so that's 1, 2, so we just go up 1, 5, 6. 1, 2. So that's 8. Okay, let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's a 6 and an 8. So if we look here, it says that there's a key button struck fault, right? One of the keys is stuck. So enter the function test mode and then perform that key test to see. So if we go to the next page here, it says this is how you perform the test. You go here to the test sequence by going, again, non-digital is mine. So we'll go to the 12 o'clock position, which is here. And then let me go ahead and exit out of this code. You basically hold down select and the pause and cancel there. And after you do that for 6 seconds, it basically exits out of like whatever function you're on. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and go back into that test mode like it says. Okay, so now the next thing I gotta see here is which one of the tests I wanna perform. And the one that I read here is this, the key test, right? Number 4, so we gotta turn this 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so now that it's on, it basically says on the rest of the instructions there that we want to go through each one of the buttons to find out which one's stuck. Anyone who knows about fixing dryers probably already sees the problem, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how you figure this out. So when you go ahead and turn this knob, if yours has a button, you can hit the button, you should see lights come on. But if it's a knob like mine for the temperature control, every time you turn it to a new one, it should beep. If it doesn't beep, it means one of them's broken, right? So watch. Beep, beep. Okay. That's working. Okay. Now, we'll go ahead and hit like options. Look at that, lights up. We'll go ahead and hit select, lights up. We'll go ahead and hit start, all those light up. We'll hit pause, cancel, all those light up. So we know none of these buttons are bad, but look at this one. That's all lit up here already. So it looks like this dryness button is like automatically pushed in and there's no way to really do anything. But it's kind of weird because sometimes when I put it on one of these and I go to do a dry cycle, I can hit the dryness button and it actually looks like it's cycling through those buttons, but maybe not. Anyway, this must be the problem, is that the dryer, even when you turn it off, which again, let's hold this for 6 seconds to turn it off. All right, so now we just put it back to normal and yeah, look at that. Now it's not doing anything. So maybe when I'm turning it off, the dryer thinks that we're pushing the dryness button. So right now it thinks we're like pushing that button in, and I think eventually it just pops back on. I'm gonna take this apart and see if maybe something happened with this, that it broke or whatever, but it says if you can't get it to work, then you need to replace the electronic control inside the dryer, which I guess is probably a lot cheaper than replacing the whole dryer. And believe it or not, it's actually fairly simple to get in there. You basically just take this screw out and this screw out. Oh shit, it's missing a screw. It's probably under there somewhere. Okay, so you take the 2 screws out and then this top just slides right out and you have access to all the boards and everything on the top. Now, make sure you unplug it though if you're gonna do that, because this is probably gonna hurt otherwise. Oh shit, I lied. I gotta take these off too. There's 2 more screws up here. This. Imagine trying to do things the easy way. So the knobs, they basically just pull out. This one's a little hard. I'll get it. But basically, once you pull them out, this whole thing should come up. To take this whole control board off, I guess we can unplug these wires here, those wires there, and then just let this wire loom hang here for a second. And then I'm gonna take these screws off on the sides here and on the back. There's one there, there's one there, and then we'll see if there's something wrong with the button. All right, so I wanna get this front panel off of this, so there's these tabs here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull these up and it should pop out as well. There's also these little tabs back here on this side and on this side. So I basically just put this in here and just push the tabs out of the way, and then this thing lifts right up once you have the knobs off. Here are the little buttons There's obviously something wrong with one of these. Now, the bright side is if there is something that's just button specific, I have a replacement for that. Alright, I don't know. I checked all the buttons and continuity and everything seems like it's okay. Maybe something else is wrong with the board that I'm just not seeing yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it back on and see. Maybe there was just something that was causing this button to seem like it was being pushed down, but I cleaned out a bunch of the lint and dust that was on all the connectors and stuff like that, so I don't know. Let's see what happens when I put it back together though. This thing's been such a pain in my ass. It's still going off. Doing the testing still shows that this button's the one that's messed up, but I've got the new one here, so here's the new board. So looks like it's the same one. Yep, that's what it looks like on the inside, so I'm gonna put it on there and see if this fixes the issue, because now the heat's not even coming on, and I don't know if that's because of the button issue on the board, but it looks like that's the only error that's being thrown. Alright, so this says put it on the 3 o'clock position. That's 1, 2, 3. And okay, so then it says go to the 2 o'clock position, and the 4 indicator lights will flash the number of times for the first digit, and the start will be the second digit. Take separate counts, and let's see what it comes out to. Just that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, that's 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 68. So 68. Key button stuck. One of the keys is stuck. It says enter the function test mode, perform the key button test to determine which button's at fault, and then carefully free the what? And perform the test again. Okay, that's weird. If button is free, but the key stuck code still exists, replace the electronic control. It says here to move on to the next code, press options. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's 8. Okay, so same code. And then if I do that, it should delete it. Okay, so there's no more codes. Otherwise it would be beeping again with a new code if there was another code, but there isn't. So then to get out of this mode, we do this. Okay, so now we should have a regular dryer. All the dryness LEDs should light. Oh, this time it worked. What the fuck? It wasn't working last time we did it. Yeah, maybe it looks like it's okay now, but it's not. Alright, so let's try 6 turns. So okay, so what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 124 is the temperature, but it's not 124 in there. It's not even warming up. Alright, well, let's put the new board on and see what happens. I took this whole thing apart piece by piece, took even the drum out. I cleared everything of all the dust, and we're gonna go ahead and turn it on now and see how everything works. Alright, we're plugged in. Alright, so far so good. Let's make sure it's heating. I do feel warm air, so let's just make sure back here. Yep, you can see the heating element back there getting red. Sort of. So far so good. It's working and not haunted.